What's your favorite "they were perfect until we Googled them" story? Story 1. I once met a girl on Tinder who seemed really nice. We talked for a while and I was excited to meet her in person. However, when I Googled her, I found out she had a criminal record for fraud. It turns out she had been involved in a scheme where she created fake charity organizations and scammed people out of their money. There were news articles detailing her arrest and court appearances, with victims' testimonies about how they had donated thousands of dollars to what they believed were legitimate causes. One article even mentioned that she had served time in jail and was on probation. I was shocked and immediately blocked her. It was a harsh reminder that you never really know someone until you dig a little deeper. Story 2. I was chatting with this guy on a dating app who seemed really nice. We had so much in common, and I was excited to meet him. However, when I Googled him, I found out he was a convicted sex offender. I discovered detailed court documents and news articles outlining his crime, which involved inappropriate conduct with a minor. Horrified, I cut off all contact and blocked him. It was terrifying to think I'd come so close to meeting him in person. Story 3. I met a guy at a coffee shop who seemed really sweet. We struck up a conversation, exchanged numbers, and started texting. After talking for a while, I was eager to meet him again. However, when I Googled him, I found out he was a member of a white supremacist group. There were pictures of him at rallies and posts on social media where he shared extremist views. Stunned and repulsed, I immediately ended our conversation and blocked him. Story 4. I bumped into a girl at a local bookstore who seemed really nice. We talked about our favorite books and exchanged contact information. We chatted for a while, and I was looking forward to meeting her again. However, when I Googled her, I found out she had been involved in a gang and had a criminal record. The news articles detailed her arrests for violent crimes and drug trafficking. Shocked and concerned, I decided to block her and move on. Story 5. I reconnected with an old classmate on social media who seemed really nice. We started chatting, reminiscing about school days, and made plans to catch up in person. However, when I did some background research, I found out he had been involved in a major financial fraud. He had defrauded numerous investors out of millions of dollars in a Ponzi scheme, and there were multiple lawsuits against him. Disturbed by the revelations, I blocked him and cut off all communication. I couldn't believe I'd almost gone out with a con artist. Story 6. I met a girl at a mutual friend's party who seemed really nice. We hit it off and exchanged numbers, chatting frequently afterward. We talked for a while, and I was eager to meet her again. However, when I Googled her, I found out she had a history of drug abuse. There were reports of her multiple arrests for possession and dealing drugs. Feeling uneasy about her past, I decided to block her and avoid further interaction. Story 7. I met a girl at a charity event who seemed really nice. We bonded over our shared interests and exchanged contact information. We talked for a while, and I was looking forward to meeting her in person. However, when I Googled her, I found out she had a history of mental illness. There were blog posts and social media accounts where she had documented her struggles with severe depression and bipolar disorder. Although I felt sympathetic, I realized I wasn't prepared to handle such complex issues in a relationship. I decided to block her and move on. Story 8. I once dated a guy who was really sweet and funny. We were getting along great until I Googled him and found out he was a serial cheater. I stumbled upon a forum where multiple girls had shared their stories about him, complete with screenshots of his messages and photos of him with different girls. Some even had photos of him from dating profiles under various fake names. When I confronted him about it, he was shocked and tried to deny it, but I showed him the screenshots and the dating profile photos. His face went pale when he saw the evidence. I ended up breaking up with him, and he was really upset about it. He started calling me names and accusing me of being a liar and a cheater. It was really embarrassing, but I'm glad I found out about his past before we got too serious.